Hi, this is Father Lou Skirty once again with Linda Newton, who is a pet rescue person and a very, very important group, and it's called
The Last Resort Rescue.
and Linda has been involved with The Last Resort. We said 7 years.
About 7 years when I got Mickey.
Okay, now let me give you a little bit of the background. When we originally met, I was still at William Patterson at the Campus Ministry Chapel, and Linda Newton worked for probation, for Passaic County Probation. So tell us how we originally met.
Well, I used to place community service workers, and Father Lou took advantage of that, and we had some great workers, electrical, building things at the Prince of Peace Chapel.
Wonderful, yeah.
But then we also had some people that really were not willing to do much.
Well, hold on to that one.
Okay.
I just told this story the other day. This is November. We're shooting this, so I don't know when you're going to see it. But November, Catholics remember All Souls, and part of that is resurrection of the life after death and so on. So I gave an example in church, and I said, you know, some people really don't believe in life after death, but let me give you an example. I had a probation worker, and you'll remember this, who called up and said, I can't come in today because my grandmother died. 100% sympathetic, of course. Call me next week, come in next week. 2 weeks later, he calls it worked. He didn't come in. 2 weeks later, he came in for a day, then called me the next day. He said, my grandmother died. I said, oh. I said, okay. I said, how sad that within a month, 2 grandmothers died. Okay, so he took 2 weeks off. And they don't get credit for those 2 weeks, but he took the time off. Then he comes in, works a week, and decides another grandmother died. So I said, wait a minute. Did they come back from the dead, or do you have 3 grandmothers? He said, no, I only have 1 grandmother. I said, where does she live? He told me where she lived. I said, so she didn't die. Oh, no, I think she did. Oh. So these community service people, most of them are wonderful ladies and gentlemen, but sometimes they're scam artists too, and he tried to scam me with the resurrection of all his grandmothers. Right. So needless to say, he went back to you.
He went back to me, and I said, don't worry, they don't want to work. I'll send them to the dog pound. Of course, for me, that would be wonderful, but that's where the person went. And, not everybody appreciates doing that. Me, I have no problem cleaning cages and whatever else, but that's how we met in the first place. And we always had dogs and animals in common.
You weren't part of Last Rescue when we met originally?
No, that was like 25 years ago.
Yeah. And so you retired.
I retired.
And then you joined this group?
I adopted Mickey, my dog, and I found out about all these wonderful foster-based groups all over the country. And I decided if I don't have to work, I would like to volunteer. And I started volunteering at dog events where you just show the dogs and people fill out applications, bake sales, Santa Claus pictures, and now I'm the fundraising coordinator, and we do pancake breakfasts and spaghetti dinners, and the more we raise, the more we save. I think we charge about $3 or $3.50 depending on the dog, but basically that includes the microchip, the shots, everything, the transport.
Great.
So we really don't make anything on it, so the fundraising is very important.
Absolutely. And how could our audience become part of the rescue?
Well, they could go on our website, The Last Resort Rescue. There's a volunteer application. We're desperately in need of foster homes where you don't even, we supply the food, the shots, everything. We just need people to take these animals out of these kill shelters so that we can get applications on them and get them adopted.
Now, could you bring up on your phone the site, and we're going to give the audience that site. A kill shelter is not a pleasant idea. It is as bad as it sounds. As a matter of fact, my dog was originally in a kill shelter in Elizabeth. A group from South Jersey rescued her and others, brought them to Colts Neck, where I adopted Santa Ana 4 years ago. But she was destined to be euthanized. Now, I'm going to ask Linda to talk about that, but give us the site. The site is, it shows Take Action, it's called, Help Ban Animal Gas Chambers, and it shows, you're not going to see this with this light, but we're going to give you the site in which you can get that. It shows the states that still allow kill shelters. I mean, these are God's creatures. These are God's pets, dogs, cats, it doesn't matter. To torture them into a gas chamber is just, well, of course it's inhumane, but it's un-animal-like as well.
The kill shelters basically, we have kill shelters in New Jersey, but it's done humanely, and New York. There's different sites you can go on, which we're looking up now, and there's petitions and legislation in many states to stop gas chambers. The gas chambers are a slow, torturous death for these animals. They're grouped together, and it's horrible. There is overcrowding, of course. I believe that there's 14,000 dogs put to sleep every day, at least.
Every day?
Every day. But if it's done humanely, I understand that there's not always places for them. We try to teach people to spay and neuter. We try and...
Hold on one sec, because that's important. Preventative measures. The site is care2.com, and it will give you gas chamber information and the heartless end for many cats and dogs. Care2.com. Okay.
So the gas chambers are like a last place that animals go, and gassing them is just barbaric, especially for this country. I know they do it in a lot of the islands or whatever, and which is why most of our dogs are pulled from the South and Illinois and Kentucky and places like that. If you go online and you sign the petition, we've gotten them outlawed in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. So at least the animals, even if they're in a kill shelter here, say like Newark is a kill shelter, it's like a last place somebody will end up. But at least they're treated humanely. But they're not nice places to be in. The animals are scared. Sometimes they just 8-10-year-old dogs that have been with a family their whole life end up there, and they're just afraid of everybody.
Right,
I mean, they lose their family, or people get evicted from their homes, they lose their jobs, and there's just so many different reasons for it. But we try and take these homely looking faces that are so desperate and give them some happiness, and that's what makes me and my group happy.
That's great. When we met Santa Ana, it was at an adoption day, pet adoption day. My niece and nephew were with me, and they fell in love with her. And they said, "Uncle Louie, I was not looking to adopt a dog. Uncle Louie, get her. She's cute. We'll walk her. I knew that was a song and a dance. So they have their own dogs now. But that's exactly what it was. It was falling in love with one of God's beautiful creatures and the love that they give you. Now, not every dog is lovable. Some of them are
Most.
unfriendly. But they adopt the personalities of the owners very often. And sometimes they look... Now these two are acting out because they're not getting attention, but they do adapt the personalities of the owners because they sense what the owner wants, what the owner likes, and they really give it back to you. Do you find that with Mickey?
Yes. Mickey, when we got him, he was a friendly dog. He was a little timid, and they actually told me he was a low-energy dog, which is, I said, oh, that's good for us. We're getting a little bit older. We got him home. He nestled in. Jack and I needed helmets on our head. He would run up and down the couch, and we'd be like this. He was so content, and I've seen that with so many dogs that have come to our rescue. Sometimes they're boarded. At one time, we had a house just for dogs that don't get along with others, and they're so scared, but just by the love and the volunteers coming in and walking them, they're just so trusting. They get it back, and they've been through such horrible things.
What are some of the things that volunteers do? You said walking them, and what else?
Well, we used to have a rescue house, and we all took turns going there. It was hard to get round-the-clock help. Then we had someone live there, and at times there were 2 or 3 unadoptable dogs there, and other times there were 10 dogs there. Our transports would come in there. But a lot of the things we do have events where we need dog handlers, just to have a foster mom or dad drop off a dog and stay there for a few hours. People come and they look at them. Same thing at the bake sales. I usually have a few dogs there. People like this dog, that dog, and they fill out an application, right? And they just adjust. I mean, they're so loving and forgiving. I mean, they're just so forgiving that no matter what they've been through, when they're in a loving place, they know it.
They give it back.
Look at these two. These two didn't like each other.
Yeah, they're buddies now. You should see them kissing each other. And how much does he weigh?
He's 80 pounds.
80 pounds, and she's 20. So you can get the size, the difference. She's now standing up on his shoulders.
I don't know if he likes that.
Well, guess what? He adapted it.
They're adorable.
See, the problem is he's getting close to me, and she's defending me. She wants to get closer.
He's playing.
Okay. This is the activity that you will experience once you take one of these little pets into your home. What's the number one thing you would like to advise our audience?
I would just like to say, if you're looking for a certain dog, a lot of people look for purebreds, a lot of people look for certain type personalities. you can find that without going to a breeder. And I understand some people show their dogs, but so many people still go out to a pet store and spend $1,000 on a dog when there's so many waiting for a home.
Great.
They're waiting for a home. They're lovable. You could go to any rescue, whether it's DalmatianRescue.com, Bichon Rescue, Chihuahua Rescue, and get a purebred. It might not be a 3-month-old one. It might be a year-old, but there's
Right.
so many there available for free, and they need your love.
That's great. And this is Father Lou with Linda Newton and both of our dogs. And I'm trying to bring up Santana. No. Come on, Santana. Hey, come up here. Come up here. Okay. That's it. Linda's going to get Santana, and I have little Mickey. And they are friendly to each other, believe me.
Both rescues.
Both rescues and both possessive of their owners, right? Smooch. This has been Father Louis Skirty. Oh, this is Jack. He doesn't want to be in the picture, but of course he's continuing the rescue tribulation by feeding both of them, causing chaos. This has been Father Louis Skirty and Linda Newton, a very dear friend of how many years, and we want you to go on the website.
TheLastResortRescue.com.
And maybe if you're interested in adopting, fostering, volunteering in any way, they would appreciate it, and so would I. God bless you. Pass this on to your family and friends, and let me hear from you, Father Lou Skirty at hotmail.com. God bless you.